joining.
And thanks for patience. Lots of patience. Yes. Okay.
But what are we doing today?
Today we're going to be talking about a top 10, I got 5, he gets 5, of vehicles that desperately need a makeover or perhaps a redesign.
Facelift?
Yeah, something to help the looks just a little bit, okay? We don't want to use any other words, do we?
Right, but this is our opinion. So
this is an opinion, right?
And this is my opinion.
This is not the opinion of TFLcar.com or any of its affiliates. This is, however, Nathan's opinion and Andre's opinion. Right. So let's get right to it. You want to go first, buddy, or you want me to go first?
No, you go, because in the order of the slides is you first and then me next.
Fair enough. Let's get right to it with number 5, the Toyota Prius, and also the Prius Prime.
Yes. So if you go up one, this is the front of it right here.
There it is.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about it just for a sec. Not too sure what Toyota was doing when they designed it, but I'm pretty sure they had a straight edge, and they did this, and they kind of went, oh, and then they went.
I know what they did.
What did they do?
I spoke with the design team when the car furniture came out, because it was controversial.
Yeah, you and I went to that event.
Yeah, controversial, and the design team said they wanted to make it stand out. And they didn't want to have a common car. They wanted a car that's unique, and they definitely accomplished it.
They did. It's kind of like putting a wig on Terry Bradshaw. You will be noticed. All right, let's move on to the my next pick, which is the BMW X6. Now, let me explain this real quick. It's not the front so much that I have the issue with. It's the back. And actually,
right there.
Yeah. See, this fastback design on an SUV, it's getting out of hand. In what possible way can that help you? Just have a regular SUV. It just looks like they literally took an SUV, chopped it off, and then grabbed some sort of fastback and slapped it on top without really thinking about it. And unfortunately, unlike Audi, BMW doesn't do it quite as aesthetically pleasing.
Can I make a comment here?
Make a comment.
By the way, guys, use the chat room to add your comments, add your suggestions, what other cars.
Yeah, and we will be checking them from time to time, and very much at the end, too.
Right, but I think the X6, it looks like the design of the front, the design of the rear is not quite matching with each other.
I would say it's not very cohesive, but okay.
Yeah, not very cohesive.
Yes, I would agree. In fact, I think what they did is they kind of picked different things and said, yeah, you know what, that'll work. I'm sorry, they would say, yeah, that would work.
Okay.
Let's move on. The next one. Now, I love this car. I love this car. Even the 4-cylinder track version was amazing. But it's the Chevy Camaro.
What?
That's right. And it's not because of the rear, but it's because of the nose. And I think a lot of you guys agree with me out there about the fact that it looked fine last time. The previous generation looked pretty good. And what they did is they sort of narrowed everything and made it look not as strong. You know what I mean? It's not as powerful. It's not as aggressive. It looks like it's kind of going, no, wait. It's squinty. Oh, God. And the thing is that if you, Roman, if you could hit the next slide.
I'm sorry. $50 have been just donated by Ron McKenna.
Ron, thank you.
From Canada.
Oh, thank you. Hey, far out. Thank you.
Ron.
I love Rush.
Email us, please, info@tflcar.com. If you want a hat and if you want it signed.
That's absolutely. Thank you so much. You'll definitely get a hat. Either mention the color that you like too.
Yeah.
So the rear, I think, is spectacular. That's a good-looking tushy. All right.
Boom.
But the front, no, not so much.
You know what happens? You know what happened? You know how Mustang and the Camaro and the Challenger are always fighting?
Yeah.
I mean, they're muscle cars, sports cars.
Yeah.
Big V8s, turbocharged engines and stuff. I think they're trying to compete because they've redesigned the Camaro at least 3 times in the last several years. So they're trying to keep it fresh. Keep punching and punching and punching. Yeah,
and I've seen that, and I think that,
right.
It's unfortunately this time around, and I'm not the only one who says this, the front end just really let people down. So hopefully we can find a way to make that a little bit more interesting. Next on the list, the Nissan Versa.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a almost attractive angle of that car. Now, they've recently updated the front end and the rear end to make it a little sharper, but you know what the problem is? It's that roofline. The small wheel wells, the overall design of it, both profile, front and rear, it's not cute. Now, the Nissan Versa Note, on the other hand, I think is a very sexy design by comparison. But the Nissan Versa itself...
It was for a while. It was the most affordable car, or the most affordable sedan you could buy in America.
It still is the most affordable sedan, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Because I think like the Mitsubishi Mirage, was giving it some
Yeah,
competition.
they're neck and neck. The Mirage, they have a one with a trunk, and it's actually a little bit more expensive. But anyway, the point is that this is a very inexpensive car. Has wonderful room inside for a small car. Gets great mileage. Has a CVT. Well, but the point is that in terms of how it looks, yeah, I'm not really.
It's kind of bulbous.
It is, but if
I
you
may say.
want to go to something that's really polarizing, let's go to.
Should we go next?
Yeah.
What's number one on your list?
Fiat 500L.
Wow.
Some say for loser, some say for Luigi. I say for Luigi, even though, whew. You know, the thing is, I think that the regular Fiat 500, especially the Abarth, and the 500X look great. I think they're really slick little cars. Unfortunately, for some reason, not only did they let somebody who had a Bender design this, but on top of that, they haven't changed it. They've had years to change it. Years. And they haven't done it yet. They haven't done anything to really cool it down a bit.
It's supposed to be like Mickey Mouse, Nathan.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like Mickey Mouse, and that's one terrifying Mickey Mouse.
Well, we have another angle at this,
yeah,
right?
yeah, fire away, the next angle.
Boom.
Boom!
Okay.
It's not... You know what it is? It's almost as like they're thinking, well, maybe we want to make an SUV, but maybe not. Maybe we want to make a little hatchback of it, maybe not. And it just looks like a committee put it together. And compared to the other Fiats that are out there, it's just not as attractive. So,
Robbins on Mac donated $20. So
thank you, Rob. Thank you very
Robin.
much.
Thank you
Appreciate that.
Let us know once again. You're getting a
the
sticker.
So, yeah, address to info at, yeah.
Yeah, $500. I mean, I'm totally with you.
Yeah, thank you.
You know, it's just in the front of it. If we could see the front of it, there's an extra glass over the A-pillars.
Yeah, if you could go back to the front of it real quick.
There's extra glass in the front here.
Which is a really unusual styling thing. I get it. I think it's to sort of eliminate some of the blind spot, but compared to it's just not a great idea. I think that's pretty much it. So hopefully you guys will have a replacement for it very soon if you're listening Fiat.
Destination Unknown did $2, so thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Really, really do.
By the way, at the end of the show, I'm gonna write down $5 and above all the names. I'll make sure
so you're gonna do the names later. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, we lost a lot of time with the early hiccups.
I always do that when I'm on the show. We always make sure that the names are here.
Sounds good. All right, let's move on to your picks.
Yeah. So my picks, number 5 on my list, is a car or a crossover that we've mentioned many times over the last few shows. But it's actually the Lincoln MKT. Here's one angle of it, which is actually not too bad. Check this out.
Yeah, well, they kind of went to a higher position to sort of make it look a little bit better.
No,
this vehicle's design's been around for years, and right now it is the oldest design that Lincoln has in their inventory. Am I right?
Well, it has their kind of a wing design of the grille, right? And this is kind of a, like you said, this is designed from about 8 years ago.
Yep.
But if you look to the rear, I know what they were going for. They wanted kind of a large crossover with kind of a signature Lincoln light, in the back, like you can see here. But it just, especially in person, some of these pictures look good, but especially in person, it's just bulbous.
It's basically a Ford Flex with a
but smoothed out.
Smoothed out, and it's just not a very complimentary design. And frankly, now that Lincoln's starting to hit some home runs, I think they should bench this guy and bring in a pinch hitter. I did a whole baseball thing, and considering that the Rockies just got thrown out of,
Why do you do
I don't know why. Sorry, that's my fault. Okay, let's move on.
The wound is still sore, okay? You're putting salt on it.
I'm sorry. And I'm not a Dodgers fan or anything else like that, guys, so don't worry about it.
Next on my list is a car that I was really looking forward to when we went to the auto show, and we were going to see the 2019 VW Jetta. I was pumped. I thought, they're going to make it cooler, just sportier. And if the image ever shows up, we'll see the image of it on the board behind us. But when it came out...
There's nothing wrong with that, Andre. Come on. There's nothing wrong with that.
Roman says
Roman
there's nothing
disagrees.
wrong.
There's nothing wrong with that, Andre.
Really?
That's a good-looking car.
Are you in love with it?
I disagree.
Roman disagrees with this pick.
Yeah, what's wrong? It's modern. It's minimalist. It's actually pretty
I
cool.
don't think they did enough. So if you look at the previous Jetta...
It's a great update. I absolutely disagree.
Okay, Roman disagrees for the record.
For the record, I think you are, way off the mark there.
Yeah,
So I'm a
but
VW guy, you know me.
that's why what Roman's missing is that Andre is a true I mean, he has a tramp stamp that has the VW on it.
No, I don't. But I do have a 2002 VW Golf.
And you really do like Volkswagens, old ones
Yes,
especially.
yes.
So, I was with him when he was all pumped up, and he did this type of thing. It's coming out, they're going to pull the thing off, and then the minute they pulled it off, he goes like that. And I swear to God, that's what he did. And
But
I
also-
noticed, and I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to shatter his dreams. I thought it was, okay.
It's an interesting car. It's very affordable, right?
Yeah.
But it was also sitting too high. You could put like your 4 fingers
Yeah.
between the wheel and the fender. It just something was just wrong.
Okay, so
David agrees with me. David George says Jetta looks awful.
Right, so who agrees with me and who agrees with Andre?
Do you agree with Roman that the Jetta is great, or the new one, or do you agree with me that the Jetta is challenged?
Well, okay, people are saying it's boring, Andre, which is maybe true, but that doesn't mean it's a bad design. It just means it's conservative. There's
Okay.
a difference between bad design and conservative.
but we're not saying bad design. It's just it could use something to give it.
Well, that's my personal opinion.
He said-
Yeah, it is his opinion.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's keep going, and please add your comments in this chat room because we want to see your thoughts on
Now
this
the
as
next
well.
one, by the way, I don't agree with him entirely on. But
What did he pick?
The next one is the Acura RLX, which is a sedan.
that's their biggest sedan.
Yes. So it's been refreshed.
Yeah.
Very recently, but the way this car looks, especially if you look at it in person, it just kind of looks too long. Just kind of looks massive, like almost too big for what it needs to be. If I'm making any sense. Plus, it's got a lot of ant-like or spider-like eyes.
Yeah, I'm
Looking
not a
at
big
you.
fan of the eyes, but didn't we have an A-spec of this one?
No, we had the TSX.
We had the
with-
TSX
well,
A-spec, okay.
Well, the lower and the mid-size model. This is their full-size car.
I like this. I like the little wave right there. I think that they tried something interesting and didn't go too far with it. And the grille is not as polarizing as the old bird beak used to be.
But I wish we would see the back of this car because Roman just walked away. He just
Just-
left the live show. He said, this show is not happening, so I'm just going to take off.
oh,
But
no.
the RLX in the back, it has kind of the large taillights, with a chrome line.
Yeah, I think it's okay in the back.
With a chrome line that goes across.
I had to get something, guys. I'm going to pass it over to Nathan to prove my point.
Oh, here we go.
This is Andre's dream car, as you can tell.
Yes, please.
This is
I
his
need
dream
my
car.
picture.
This should make my point. So Nathan,
Yeah, this is live broadcasting, folks.
Yeah, this is seriously. That is Andre's dream
Put
car.
it closer.
Here it is in 3D.
Here.
This is
Here,
my
hold
dream
up
car.
closer. Look at the design. It's basically a bread box with lights.
But
This
it's
is
classic.
my dream. So this car came out about 41 years ago. This is the Lada Niva. This is a wonderful rendition of it. Thank you, Nathan. Nathan actually gave it to me as a gift.
It's a birthday gift.
Not
So
the car, the painting.
the picture of it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't
And
afford the car yet.
I've been searching for this car, and actually Stephen Elmer, our Canadian correspondent and managing editor of Off-Road, he actually turned me on to their Craigslist, postings, and I found one in British Columbia for about $3,500.
Well, that's Canadian bucks.
Yeah. Oh, no. I already
already did that, huh?
converted it
Oh,
to dollars
bummer.
to US, and I'm trying to buy one, so I'm really excited.
You could trade in your H2 on it. Why don't we talk about aesthetics? Let's move on. Your next one.
Well, the RLX. Oh, this is the rear end.
Andre, your microphone's in front of you.
I know. That's why I'm screaming.
He's
I'm
excited,
I'm really
folks.
passionate, and there's another microphone right there.
Yeah,
Don't talk to the screen, please.
So, super handling all-wheel drive, hybrid technology, great. Design on the RLX could be improved.
Okay.
My next on my list is another crossover, which just came out, 2019 Subaru Ascent. Boom!
Now, I frankly agree with Andre completely on this vehicle, and it's not because we, have some issues with Subaru. It's because, well, you tell them what you think, and I'll agree.
So, what happened here, I think,
I agree.
they took
Sorry.
the Outback, which is a very successful car for them, and actually I think the Outback has good proportions, looks good, in my opinion. But they took a pump and they went to,
And
they pumped up the Outback, and it just grew a bit.
it's a terribly lazy design. I mean, there's
Show
nothing
the, Show the
new.
rear end as well.
Yeah.
If you could go to the next image. Actually, I couldn't find an image that shows more of the rear end.
For some reason.
So if you look at the lights, guys, it just the tail lights don't work in my opinion. It just looks bulbous. It looks like somebody literally just stretched an Outback.
That's exactly what it looks like. And unfortunately, yeah, they're going to sell plenty of them, and good for them. I mean, I hear it drives nice, but the bottom line is the design. They had so many places they could have gone with it. They could have made up for what happened with the Tribeca, but instead they went with what I would consider lack of passion. Would you agree?
Brendan says Roman traded the Raptor for a Fiesta, so I still think Andre has a better taste in cars. Wow.
What's wrong with the Fiesta?
Wow. Fiesta is a great looking car.
I'm trying to convince Roman to put the roof tent on the Fiesta. I think it'd be awesome.
A roof tent?
And by the way, these are the same people that said if we have another Raptor video, we will unsubscribe.
Yeah, I know.
So take it with a grain of salt there.
Yeah, guy. Yeah, that is true. Roman is absolutely right. Now let's get
I don't think there's anything wrong with the Fiesta, especially the ST. It's hot. It's just a change.
Great video on TFL Car.
You guys should check out TFL Car YouTube channel because today we have a video where we compare it against the Model 3.
Yeah.
Yes, against the Tesla. That's a really cool
Past
video.
or future? Past internal combustion versus electricity.
EV versus hatchback. So let's close yours out with absolutely one that we totally agree on.
I think all of us will say yes because the Toyota Mirai, the hydrogen fuel cell car that Toyota produces, is very it's challenging to look at. And I know what they were trying to do, right? They were kind of first in the recent years to bring the hydrogen fuel cell car. It's sold in California, right? And it's just...
I know they wanted it to stand out, and they didn't want it to look like a Prius. But if you've already seen the pictures of the Prius, you might understand anything won't look like the Prius. And they went with this. And I don't really see why this was necessary. Why couldn't they have figured something else out? I just think that they just absolutely went crazy when they did this. Too much wasabi.
Well, David says it also cost $50,000. Yes, it's kind of like a lease, right? So
yeah.
You kind of get it for several years or months, and then you can return it. But it's pushing the technology forward, right? Fuel cell is kind of a complicated thing. Hydrogen fuel cells.
Absolutely.
You have to fill it up with hydrogen, and it converts it into electricity and then water, and water is your byproduct.
And
right?
bear in mind, you have to take the hydrogen from carbon, and it's not exactly an easy process.
No.
So there's a lot to it.
It's very challenging. We have a few comments here as
let's
well.
fire away at those. And
Yeah.
while you're doing that, by the way, we don't have the pictures of them, but I'm going to let you know about some of Roman's favorites.
Oh, ouch.
You ready?
Yeah, just fire
Ferrari
on.
GTC for Lusso T. Yeah, I agree.
The front doesn't match the rear.
The Dreyfus element. Okay. Another one he has on this list is the Honda Clarity, which is
Similar to the Mirai.
yeah, but I think that the Clarity just looks like a car that they drew because they thought it would look really cool in the future, even though it's not the future. Land Rover Discovery. Now, was that the Discovery or the Discovery Sport? I didn't get that from you.
Discovery.
The regular Discovery.
Yeah, it looks too rounded.
He doesn't like the roundy proportions.
It used to be a square, macho, kind of, very manly kind of off-roader, and it's turned into a very just rounded.
So what Roman is saying,
too elegant,
Roman
perfect.
likes his Brits macho.
And square and
Square
powerful.
and powerful. Look at our Land Rover that we have outside.
Series 2.
Is it still running?
I think so.
It got out of the parking lot. So, yeah, that's, how about the Rolls Royce Cullinan?
No, it's the Cullinan. The Cullinan is a big giant diamond.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with Roman on that. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
I agree.
And finally,
It looks like a truck jumped over the fence and had its way with like a Tahoe.
that's one way to look at it. It's hard to say that the Bentayga is better looking than something, but the Bentayga is better looking.
Yeah, it's kind of grown on me. When I first saw
No, it's not very, it's not pretty either. And then finally, the Mini Countryman SE All 4, which, by the way, I agree with Roman. It doesn't look very mini-ish, that's for damn sure. But
huge.
It's huge. And I believe, is it a Now video or is it a car video?
It's a Now video.
On TFL Now, if you look, there's actually a video where I get a chance to talk to you guys about the fact that I don't think it's very British mini anymore. So there you go. Let's any other questions and shout-outs?
Yeah, well, there's several people who agreed with Roman. They appreciated his opinion about the Jetta. Destination Unknown said, he appreciates Roman's opinion. There are several people who said that there's some other vehicles that are in need of a makeover or redesign. One vehicle that came up on this list was a 4Runner. The 4Runner has been around for many, many years the way it is.
Yeah, I mean, it needs a lot of things in terms of a full, not a refresh. It needs to be a new vehicle.
And it probably will be very soon.
It's actually interesting that you mentioned that because we
Yes.
actually covered that yesterday in the Ask Nathan post on TFLcar.com. And there are a few rumors that are out there, and so I brought on some of the rumors, and I also put a vehicle on there that could, in theory, replace the 4Runner because it has similar underpinnings, although it's based on a Hilux. So go check that out. That's on TFLcar.com. Anything else?
The car crazy guy says there needs to be an Expedition RS.
That's a really good idea.
So the high performance version of the Expedition, Expedition Raptor.
Expedition Raptor. Yeah, I think Andre's onto something there. And I think Saleen built something like that.
Back in the day, but
Yeah.
we just had a trip that we're working on. We did a mega road trip competition.
You're still recovering.
And Expedition was part of it.
Yes.
We hope to publish that video in a few days on TFL Truck YouTube channel.
On
TFL Truck.
TFL Truck's YouTube
It
channel.
was Suburban versus Expedition.
It was a hell of a race. Are we turning that in one video or is that two?
I don't know yet.
I think it'll be one,
Stand-
but it'll
stand
be
by-
a
stand by.
beefy, big one.
People keep saying the Nissan Frontier needs a refresh.
That's true.
The Nissan Frontier has been around so bloody long. It's almost
One of the
new
oldest.
because it's so old.
Probably one of the oldest.
It is the oldest of all the mid-sized trucks.
So they just announced the 2019 Frontier pricing, so it keeps going for 19 and maybe beyond.
That makes so much
But
money off those things.
I thought about this yesterday. I walked into the grocery store and there was a Frontier in front of it.
Uh-huh.
And I think they should just build it for the next 10 years. I think they should reverse their, completely say, the truck, there's nothing wrong with it. It's really reliable. We should just keep building it. They improved their sales last month by 50% over last year.
Andre, you will be assassinated if you're not careful. There are people out there who've been screaming for a new Frontier.
How many editions can they do of that thing?
But
know, they
there's
just-
going to be the Sunrise Edition.
Yeah, the sunset. And then,
Day edition.
yeah, there'll be a red flag version. There'll be, the special yellow
But it's the
sunburst.
smallest
Brunch
mid-size.
edition.
There's the smallest mid-sized truck available now because the Ford Ranger is coming out.
Yeah.
It's growing a little bit in size.
Yeah, I think it's
The
gonna be
new
bigger.
JT is going to be fairly large vehicle.
Yeah.
The Jeep Wrangler pickup truck.
And
So
that
I
might be
think-
what they're waiting for, by the way. That might be, they may actually be waiting to see what power sources go into these vehicles because Nissan has already done a prototype with the Frontier with a diesel engine, and our man Roman drove it. He really,
A long
you did.
time ago, dude.
That was
That
like
was
4
4
years
years
ago.
ago. Yeah. Yeah, it's not happening, guys. It's been 4 years.
Well, it has been 4 years, but maybe they're being pragmatic about how they're approaching it. So you never know. Anyway, the point is that you are absolutely right. He is wrong. And yes, there should be a redesign soon. Hopefully, we'll have a brand new truck in the next 2 years. That's my
No,
guess.
I think we should keep building it.
Shut it.
Music Man says the Mitsubishi Lancer needs a refresh
No,
and
it
redesign.
needs to come back. It's gone. I don't know if you guys know this, but the Lancer's been discontinued, and the Evo a couple of years prior to
It
that.
needs to come back in a big way.
It's such a
Well,
shame.
But sedans are not selling really well.
They're selling pretty well. They're going down a little bit, but they're still selling millions
Our
of
man
them.
Patrick George today on Jalopnik, he's editor of Jalopnik.
Yeah.
Interesting take. He said the reason that crossovers are so popular is not because they're rugged, not because they're taller, not because they're roomy, not because they're utilitarian, but because America's getting older and the seat height is perfect for old
It's absolutely.
guys and gals to be able to
Ouch.
get into.
I gotta tell you.
And I think there's a lot to that.
No,
So
there's a lot
Patrick
to
George-
that. Months ago, I played what we call Turkey Bowl. It's a long explanation. It's a football thing, and we all get beat up. We're all too old to be playing it, and there's young guys who kick our ass. And I had an SUV at the time. I think I had you know what I had? I had the Ford EcoSport.
Okay.
EcoSport, sorry.
Echo.
Which isn't an amazing vehicle, but the seat is absolutely perfect for my butt. And I was so torn up, and I just kind of limped over to it, and it was so nice just being able to rotate and sit. And it's like, there's no effort whatsoever. So I could totally see how old people and octogenarians actually enjoy having a seat that's nearly at their butt height.
I was
I think he
driving
nailed
the
it.
ZR2 yesterday, and I took my mom out to Outback, which is the only place she goes now for dinner. That's her favorite place. So
Your
that's
mom's
free-
awesome.
Free shout outs to Outback.
Yeah, Outback.
And I had the ZR2, and I thought, I got to her house, and I'm like, she'll never get into this thing. She will never get into this. And we had to come back here to the office and switch into the Expedition, and she barely got into that. And even
An
with that
expedition
as
has a small step, not a
as
big
step,
one.
But it was quite the process.
Yeah, that's obviously
So it goes both ways. Too high is not good either.
yeah. I enjoyed back in the day when the H2 first came out, watching certain people try to struggle to get into it. I was in the
You have
Northridge
to have a
Mall.
ladder.
Yeah, I was in the Northridge Mall parking lot, and this is prior to phone, pictures and all that. And I saw pink shoes dangling out of it, trying to scramble into it because she couldn't get in. She had to throw her stomach on it and then crawl in. I love that. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up in just a minute.
On that note.
Yeah, on that note.
Suburban ZR2. Hey guys are having wild ideas right now.
Okay.
A Suburban ZR2 needs to come out. I agree.
Well, yeah.
Tahoe ZR2. We don't have any Bronco news. A lot of people are asking about the Ford Bronco.
Oh, yeah, that's
That's like the number one question we get.
that and the Jeep.
Yeah, and guys, I promise you, if we had something, it would be on the website.
The second we get something, you guys will
Or
get
on
it.
this channel.
You always
Or
hear
on our
about
truck
it.
channel. Or
We-
on our car channel.
We're so small and fast that the minute we get something, we can get it to you guys within minutes after we hear
I
it.
think people think that like we hear something and we just
We're going to sit on it and like, oh, no, we have something we're not going to tell you. The only time we would do that is if there was an embargo on information that we were given. A reasonable embargo, I should say. But if we have general information, guys, we're going to get it to you. That's why you got to keep checking out TFL Car and TFL Truck and see what we have, because we might have breaking news. Boom, right there.
Last week we broke, Andre broke a really cool story. He broke the towing capacity of the new Ranger.
That's right.
At 7,500, and we got it right, and Ford had to issue a press release because of Andre's hard work. So congratulations, Andre.
Thank you,
And
thank you guys,
currently
and thank
Ford-
you for reading TFLtruck.com.
No, we
because
appreciate
was
that.
Critical.
And Ford is currently crossing us off their Christmas list.
You know who else is crossing us off? The Chevrolet.
Yeah, you broke the episode too.
We
Yeah, we
got
have the Chevy
news,
show.
we got a snapshot of a dealer description of the new 3-liter Duramax Straight 6.
Yep.
It was.
Now disappeared.
It has since disappeared.
It's
but
an
we
ether.
grabbed the horsepower, which is 282, the torque, which was 480, and fuel economy and towing numbers were there. But I think they're preliminary numbers.
Yeah,
They might be adjusted, tweaked a little bit.
Yeah, especially just to prove us wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, let's. Why don't we wrap this up and bring it on home?
Yeah. Somebody's saying Chrysler 300. It's been around for many
Yeah,
years.
rumor is that's going to be disappearing soon too.
So I think we're done with most of the comments. RAV4 embargo. Well, you're going on the RAV4 thing next
Yeah.
week. Oh, no, next month.
Next month.
Next
So
month.
some outlets managed to get their hands on a RAV4.
Micah did his video. It was I always couldn't. Is he Edmonds or
KBB.
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 So Micah got one, and somehow he did a video that got 300,000 views. With,
Yeah.
so
It's look, guys, if we could get our hands on one, we would, and we would do exactly the same thing.
Yep.
But the bottom line is, he's embargoed. He can't give you any information other than what he generally has in front of him. No driving and no gas mileage, none of that stuff. Hopefully, we'll be able to be one of the first when we go out to the event, which we'll be hitting the first wave of, and you will be receiving videos from that event, and it will be for all the stuff we can find on the Toyota RAV4.
And by the way, Michael is at the Volvo V60
S60,
and
sedan
S60
and wagon.
station wagon. So he should be producing a video as we speak, hopefully.
Yeah,
So stay tuned to this channel. And we'll
Stay
be the
tuned
first
for some-
to have V60, S60 at least from the U.S.
absolutely. Some brand new Volvo stuff coming real
We
soon,
also have
guys.
Hyundai news, the new Kona Electric.
Yep.
So we don't know. Zach said it's embargoed, so maybe not.
Well, this week or next week, that's coming too. Zach is there right now. That's why he's not here.
And to finally finish everything off, guys, remember, we've got auto shows coming up. We've got SEMA coming up. We have a ton of events that we're going to, so stay tuned for all those. And let's sign off and say adios. Do you have music to play us out?
Thanks.
Or do you want my imaginary harmonica?
You can start your harmonica
Okay?
now.
Ready, guys?
No, hey.
No? You said do it.
Wait, where's my music?
His music's better.
No, this is not that good.